My name is Emily, and I have always believed that some moments in life have the power to change everything. It wasn't just a kiss. It was the moment I realized how deeply a single touch, a single connection, could alter the course of my heart. For me, one of those moments was my first kiss. It wasn't just a kiss. It was the moment I realized how deeply a single touch, a single connection, could alter the course of my heart. Looking back now, I can still feel the nervous excitement, the way time slowed down, the way my heart raced as if it wanted to escape my chest. It wasn't just a kiss. It was the moment I realized how deeply a single touch, a single connection, could alter the course of my heart. I wanted love that was unexpected, that swept me off my feet, that made my heart beat so fast it felt like it might burst. I wanted a love story worth remembering. My parents were warm and loving people, but they had always taught me to be cautious. My father, a man of few words but great wisdom, often told me that love should be based on more than just emotions. It should be built on trust, patience, and understanding. My mother, on the other hand, was a hopeless romantic. My father, a man of few words but great wisdom, often told me that love should be based on more than just emotions. It should be built on trust, patience, and understanding. I found myself caught somewhere in between, wanting to believe in love's magic but also fearing the pain that might come with it. He was unlike anyone I had ever known, quiet yet confident, reserved yet warm. We had known each other for years, but it wasn't until our senior year of high school that I started seeing him in a different light. He had always been around, just a friend in the background of my life. But suddenly, he became the only person I wanted to be near. It started with small things, longer conversations, stolen glances, moments that felt like they held a secret only the two of us knew. I remember one afternoon after school, sitting by the lake where we often met to talk about everything and nothing. The sun was setting, casting golden hues over the water, and for the first time, he looked at me in a way that made my breath hitch. It was as if he was seeing me, really seeing me, not just as a friend, but as someone who mattered to him in a way he couldn't put into words. The moment our love shifted from friendship to something more was subtle yet powerful. We had been walking home after a school event, laughing about something silly, when he suddenly stopped and turned to me. "Emily," he said softly, his voice carrying an unfamiliar nervousness. "Can I tell you something?" I nodded, feeling my heartbeat quicken. I think I've been falling for you," he admitted, his eyes searching mine for a reaction. The world around us disappeared in that moment. The noise of the streets, the cool breeze, even the lights from passing cars. It all faded into the background. I didn't know what to say. I had felt something for Ryan too, but hearing him say it out loud made it real in a way I wasn't prepared for. We spent the next few weeks dancing around our feelings, caught in a space between friendship and something deeper. Every touch, every glance, every conversation was charged with an unspoken longing. I knew it was only a matter of time before something happened, before the tension between us broke and gave way to something neither of us could take back. And then, on a night that felt like it was written in the stars, it happened. It was at a small gathering with our closest friends. The air was crisp, filled with the sound of laughter and music. Ryan and I had drifted away from the group, finding ourselves alone on the balcony of my best friend's house. The city lights stretched out before us, twinkling like stars, but all I could see was him. He turned to me, his expression unreadable. "You ever think about how certain moments in life just change everything?" He asked. I nodded. "Yeah, I do." There was a pause, a breath of hesitation, and then he took a step closer. My heart pounded so loudly I was sure he could hear it. His hand brushed against mine, sending shivers down my spine. Emily, he whispered, I don't want to wait anymore. I barely had time to process his words before his lips met mine. It was soft at first, hesitant, like he was afraid to break the spell between us. But as I leaned in, as my hands found their way to his shoulders, the hesitation melted away, replaced by something pure and electric. The world faded. Time stood still, and in that kiss, I felt everything, every unsaid word, every hidden feeling, every moment that had led us to this. It was perfect, not because it was flawless, but because it was real. It wasn't rushed or dramatic. It was simply two people finally finding their way to each other. That night, as we stood there wrapped in each other's warmth, I knew that something had changed forever. Love had found me in the most unexpected way, and for the first time in my life, I wasn't afraid to let it in. That night, as we stood there wrapped in each other's warmth, I knew that something had changed forever. Love had found me in the most unexpected way, and for the first time in my life, I wasn't afraid to let it in. They are about trusting another person enough to let them into the most vulnerable parts of yourself, to allow them to see your fears, your hesitations, and your hopes all wrapped up in a single fleeting moment. First kisses are not just about the physical touch of lips meeting. They are about the unspoken emotions that linger in the air before and after, the silent exchange of feelings that words often fail to capture. They mark the beginning of something new, something that has the power to shape who we become. A first kiss is not just about passion. It is about stepping into the unknown, about allowing yourself to feel deeply and without restraint. It is about surrendering, if only for a moment, to the overwhelming force of emotions that pull two souls together. For some, a first kiss is the spark that ignites a lifelong love story. For others, it is a fleeting but unforgettable moment that leaves an imprint on the heart, a memory to be cherished long after the moment has passed. My first kiss wasn't just about Ryan, it was about me. It was about the moment I chose to let go of my fears, to silence the doubts that whispered in my mind, and to embrace the possibility of love. It was about the courage to allow myself to be seen, to be held, to be cherished in a way I had never experienced before. It was the moment I understood that love is not always grand and dramatic. Sometimes it is found in the quiet, delicate exchanges between two hearts that simply recognize each other. That night, as I stood under the endless sky with Ryan, feeling the warmth of his presence and the certainty of his touch, I knew that something within me had changed forever. Love had found me, not in the way I had imagined it, but in a way that felt more real, profound, and more beautiful than I ever could have expected. And that, above all, is a moment I will carry with me for the rest of my life. A moment that will always remind me of the beauty of firsts, the magic of love, and the extraordinary power of a single kiss.